The United National large numbers. Let's discuss the real issues facing the nation. This Monday, get ready for UNC's Monday Night Forum, the United National Congress. Monday Night Forum. This Monday, 6th of March, get ready for the United National Congress Monday Night Forum at the Endeavour Hindu School, Shogonas. Come out in large numbers. Let's discuss the real issues facing the nation. It's time for action, not distraction. Monday Night Forum, Endeavour Hindu School, 7 p.m. See you there. See you there. See you there.
Blessing, good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to Facts, Not Fiction. Let me first welcome our viewers locally, regionally, and internationally. Welcome. Of course, today being Friday, we were supposed to be on the streets. But be prepared for next week. Be prepared for next week. We will be outside. According to the youths, we will be outside next week. But this week we are in studio. And we are in studio, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we will continue to do what we are accustomed doing here. And that is bringing the information to you as we see it fit. I saw Heritage Petroleum. I saw Heritage Oil Company going to have talks in Barbados. Right, we're looking good. If we're looking good, we're good looking. So Heritage want to have talks in Barbados. You know, I remember at one time Barbados was like, a joke when coming to energy. But it seems as though that this Keith Rowley Stuart Young connection, they like fish out of water, trying to see where they could head and where they could grab and where they could form some kind of alliance to see how best they could further cripple Trinidad and Tobago. Ironically, the Prime Minister went to Guyana and was offering Guyana the refinery, offering them to utilize the refinery, oil. They could bring oil to Trinidad and we could have the refinery up and running, and the normal pack of hogwash that emanates out of the mouth of the Prime Minister and the Energy Minister. I think they should be twins. I think they should be the twins, because I think that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that you in this country, I think you have to start to see things for what they are in this country at this point in time. No longer you could hoodwink the country by the pack of idiotic talk that the Prime Minister will disseminate on a regular basis, whether it be at the Parliament or whether it be on press conferences or media release. The nonsense that that this Prime Minister continue to spew to you into your hearing, where it's nothing but a joke. Last week I tell you that this country, the Prime Minister have created an opportunity, he have created a market for old talk, because you, the people of this country, continue to buy into the old talk that the Prime Minister sell on a regular basis, the old talk that he bring to the Parliament, the old talk that the media print, the old talk. That is what is making you, the people, what you are today, based on the old talk of the Prime Minister. Because you are educated, this society is an educated society, and I can't understand for all the tea in China, as the young people would have said back in the days when I was younger. So I'm talking about the old people. I cannot understand for all the tea in China that you, the people of this country, still wants to listen to anything that Keith Rowley, Stuart Young, Camille Robinson Regis, Faris Alwari, Reginald Lyon Amor. I don't know what you people, what confidence you have in people like Fitzgerald Hines and Nosebreaker or Nobreaker. I prefer Nosebreaker. You understand? And the Wasserman who tell you that he doesn't know that pressure does suppress water. The man who tell you that he doesn't know that leaks will suppress the pressure of the water from coming up on a hill. He don't know that. But he's the Minister of Utilities. And that is what you people believe in. I also saw that a woman was brutally murdered in St. Augustine. Savagely murdered. And the figures continue to climb while we have the new Commissioner of Police tell us that there's a storm. What we are experiencing is a storm before the calm. But it seems as though the calm has since passed so long before she becomes Commissioner of Police that she didn't understand that we're in the peak of the storm. Because when you see TCL going to retrench, LNG going to retrench, I saw, what's her name again? Ms. Schoon, the Minister of Trade, telling us that small businesses is responsible for over 91%, some 2,000-3,000 people that is employed in small business, and small business play their part in relation to the GDP of this country. I want the minister to tell us what the government has done or what the government is presently doing to assist those small businesses that crash under the pandemic and those small businesses that is closing the doors today as we speak because of the mismanagement, because of the draconian measures that the Minister of Finance have instituted on this country and on the business sector, while small business continue to shut down and retrench and send home people on a daily basis. What the government is doing to help these small businesses to catch themselves in this stagnant economy. We have an economy, ladies and gentlemen, that cannot produce. We have a government that cannot attract a Jestel Archie. If we ain't looking good, we good looking. But this government, they ain't looking good and they ain't good looking because they cannot attract foreign investors to invest in this country, which is the onlyest way. Which is the only way, ladies and gentlemen, to stimulate and to have growth in our dying economy. When you look at the central bank reports, and when you look at inflation, because of the measures that the government or the lack thereof introduce to have the economy stable, it is only a matter of time before Colin Imbut goes into your savings, into the heritage fund to raid it again. When you look at Miaro, the constituency of Rushton Parry, and I think he will be on the show soon to explain to you as the Shadow Minister of Trade how businesses in Miaro, Galiota, Guayaguayari, and other part of the East continues to fall apart, to shut down, to close down because of the measures that has been implemented by the government of the day. We are at a point, ladies and gentlemen, in this country, that if you do not open your eyes right now as we speak, it's almost better that you keep them closed, because the direction in which the government is now pointing you, the people, the citizens of this country, it is to the place of eternal rest. That is where the government is taking you. And when we look at what measures that the government would bring to the table to save this country and to bring ease and to create some sort of sustainable growth, we are at a place with no hope. We are at the place where there is no hope. And this is just the preamble for what I want to get into in a little bit, I want you, the people of this country, to go back and examine yourselves. Look back just 7-8 years ago and see what was your condition 8-9 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to be honest to yourself. Look back as to where you were to where you are. And while you reminisce on the jobs that you had and the cash that you had in your bank accounts or under your mattress or in your bosom, as some of the elderly folks believe that the money is safe. These days it isn't safe, because while you're sleeping, your children might be searching you. Look back as to the level of your standard of living. If you were proud people, if you was a proud mother and a proud father, if you children used to be proud of mommy and daddy, if you used to look out on a Friday to see what daddy is bringing home or what mommy is bringing, today, I just tell you, keep your eye closed, because mommy and daddy ain't bringing nothing. Mommy and daddy could barely survive. Daddy is no longer the proud daddy that he used to be. Mommy is no longer walking with her head high up and coming home Friday, opening the car trunk and calling you, the children, to help with the grocery bags. Daddy no longer opening the car and telling you go in the back seat. A matter of fact, the only thing daddy have in the back seat or in the trunk is a gas bottle. That is what daddy have in the trunk now, to bring home a gas bottle. I'm coming up the road just now, I see a man with an X-Trail. I just saw a man on the creek with an X-Trail. Actually, a nice X-Trail. And you know what he doing, actually? He have a yellow bottle. And he throwing liquid inside of inside of his tank. That is the state of affairs that you, the people of this country, have allowed Rowley and his government to bring you not once but twice. When you saw the tendencies of Keith Rowley in 2015, I would have expected that in 2020, as you get the chance to choose a better living, to choose a better life, I really, really believe that in 2020, you were so eager and you could not have waited for that election bell to call, for you to go to the polls and vote out Keith Rowley and his lying team. But you know what you did? You went back and create more problems, not only for yourself, but problems for the entire country. Problems where nobody wants to have discussion with us. Problems where you could no longer stand up on your own feet. Problems where you are crawling on your belly. Problems where you cannot, a matter of fact, this government use all the excuse in the book when coming to food card. They say corruption, they say they fix it, they say they clean it up, and they come back and tell you mass corruption with food card. And they come and they say they clean it up again, and they distribute again. And you know what? An elderly gentleman from somewhere Valencia called today, and he is so angry because there is no money on the food card. And what get him hot is the level of arrogance and ignorance that those individuals portray when he went to notify them that, look, there is no money on the food card. Added to that, there's another situation where that gentleman's supposed to collect his check. And when he saw that no check was forthcoming and he went to inquire, they say that there was a glitch in the system and they cannot print one check twice. So that had me confused. Because if there's a glitch in the system and you can't print one check twice, so that ain't telling you that the check was already printed for the gentleman already. So is it a case where the government have no money to pay? I don't know. I just asking. Is hardship upon hardship, ladies and gentlemen, upon the citizens of this country? And the citizens of this country would not open their eye. They would not open their air, and they would not open their mouth.
And I hear it and no money on the food card this month.
So no money on the food card also. Well, then we in a serious calamity here, because if we have no money, we have no gas, we have no oil, and from how things looking, it seems as though that we have no government. That is how it seems. And you, the people of the country, you still sit back and you still adjusting yourself to all the packadotishness that will come from the parliament, that will come from the prime minister and the prime minister office. And you comfortable with that. But let me steam things up a little bit. Let us steam things up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have seen over a period of time we have experienced a number of activities within governance that we beat today and we forget tomorrow. Every time a new conversation comes up, by the creative skills of the Prime Minister Keith Rowley, you the people forget the latter and you jump to the present. You forget what just happened last week and yesterday. And it seems as though that you are just looking for a situation to develop or a whole talk to propagate. And then you jump on the bandwagon. Then social media full. You just keep jumping like jumping jack. And Rowley just creates the avenue for you to jump. And you jump. Rowley creates the old talk for you to be distracted. And you are distracted. I think it's time that we get our priorities straight in this country. I think it's time that you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, get your priorities straight. I think it's time that even we get our priorities straight. Because we didn't have it straight yet, you know. We ain't have it straight here. Don't fool yourself and mamaga yourself. We ain't have it straight. We just believe in old talk and foolishness. And the main issues that affect this country, we just sidetrack that because Rowley allow us to be sidetracked. And Rowley put the blinder on your eye. And everything that you put in front, that is what you run down. I saw a dog race this week on social media. And they had a bone on this machine. And let me tell you something. Them dog could run until the neck break, they can't get a bone. and everybody behind that bone, and that bone moving as fast as twice time the speed of the dog. And they decide that they had to get the bone, only to realize that they're running a race and there's no prize. That is Trinidad and Tobago. That is you, the people of this country. You just running down every old talk that pop up, and the real facts, the real macaw, the real issue and the real problem, you are sidetracked. You are distracted. Rowdy detracts you as quick as he want and as clever as he want, and you just keep running down, and to the end of the day you will get no results. Rowley continue to be the prime minister of this country. Rowley government continue to pressure you and sit in office. They continue to eat and drink out of your taxpayer money. They continue to wear and drive out of your taxpayer money. And you just keep paying the tax and reaping no reward and no benefit for what you put in. Well, I think it's time that you people change that. I think it's time that you people change that. I have seen a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where the Prime Minister of this country strategize and utilize his strategies effectively. It is as though the Prime Minister keep saving and accumulating, shunning and shirking his responsibility, and just scattering and you the people run behind what he scatter. We have had some serious issues that nobody speaks of anymore. We have heard about Nelson and his indemnity. And we, the country, believe that that was the straw to break the government back. And we started off on a journey by utilizing all the specialists and the legal minds to explain and to show you where the government not only breached the Constitution, but they conspire with this criminal to utilize millions of your money. Whether some of that money would be kickbacks or kick front or kick sideways, and all that was said and done to help you, the country, to take a stand against the level of corruption, against the breaches of our laws. You did absolutely nothing. We have seen a situation where government MPs were lawyers, while members of the former Police Service Commission were also lawyers, while the Attorney General, also a lawyer, and all of these individuals, the Keith Scotland, the Faris Alwari, and the Kewal Singh, all tied up in this whole bundle of Timawi. For you who don't know what that is, check it out on your way home. This bundle, a picker, choking on every side. Faris sell car in transfer. This one driving, that one driving. Keith Scotland represent, this one represent, the whole bundle. A level of misbehavior in public office, unprecedented. Agreements sign up. Attorney General interfering with the role of the Director of Public Prosecution. Director of Public Prosecution telling you, the public, that I heard while I had some conversation with some officers. I only hear through the grapevine. After he was forced by Ravi Balgobin and Anand Ramlogan with a judicial review, then we heard that the DPP only overhear all this mass misbehavior and corruption within the legal framework of the country, perpetrated by the Attorney General, co-inspired by the Prime Minister. Attorney General is not alone to himself. He reports to the cabinet. As a matter of fact, he and the Prime Minister is the cabinet. But all this happened and you, the people of the country, you did absolutely nothing. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, today a gentleman, we had a conversation through WhatsApp. And he was asking, well, no, Mr. Roberts, it's time that we can hold the president accountable for that merit list. I said, no, sir. No, sir. He said, but how? We could put the president in court for the merit list now. And then I had to turn up the pages of the Constitution and show him how that president is as free as a bird. We have seen the president of the country a ceremonial office that we place in high esteem. A woman who is learnt in constitutional laws. A lecturer. And we have seen that by the influence of Keith Rowley, that list went forward, backward, reverse, sideways, up, down, disappear, crash. And you, the country, you, the people, you did absolutely nothing. You did absolutely nothing. We have seen, ladies and gentlemen, the next highest office holder within the government rank and file, a senior counsel, a man who the rest of the fraternity in that rank consider him to be a good boy, went to a Miami court and lied. Millions of dollars going down the drain. Lie. Destroys the office, the integrity of the Attorney General office. Desecrated it. And you, the people of this country, you did absolutely nothing. We are going, hold on, you go see where I'm going this now. You did absolutely nothing. We have seen a Chief Justice Ivor Archie, where the Law Association brought about serious allegations of misconduct. And when it went to the Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, who has the authority to set up a tribunal to investigate and to give the Chief Justice the opportunity to clear his name. Keith Rowley blatantly refused. The court, our judicial system, tell Rowley he wrong, reconsider, and Rowley present them with the same verdict. And today we have a Chief Justice, Ivor Archie, sitting at the hem of the justice system with allegations that if my son have those allegations against him, I disown him. Write that down. Write that down. Because I don't care who I con. And I don't care who have con. If my son, two of them, Omar and Joshua, have them kind of allegation behind them, I, Victor Roberts, disown them. You could think and feel what you want. That's your business. That is me. But yet, we have that individual, Ivor Archie, at the hem of the justice system. He could move, he could appoint, he could shift wrong, he could transfer, he could do as he please. At the hem. And then we have a Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, who it's alleged that since he was a school teacher, he wasn't good. And if he wasn't good when he was a school teacher, you go get good now. We have a Keith Rowley Prime Minister who had serious allegations of landate. Materials from the Scarborough General Hospital end up somewhere down in landate. We had Keith Rowley who knew about corruption within the PNM. When he spoke about bid rigging in Unicott, and we learn about those bid rigging in Unicott years after the fact. While Keith Rowley was there and the corruption was going on where you, the taxpayer, were losing millions of dollars, Rowley said absolutely nothing. It was years after Rowley had the opportunity to show integrity and break the back of the PNM under Patrick Manning and tell the country I am saying there's bid rigging going on in Udicott as I sit in Parliament. Rowley remains quiet. We heard about bid rigging from the mouth of Rowley long years after the fact. We had all the Calder Heart situations. And it's only when people couldn't get their way or people couldn't get enough out of the loot, then they decide to talk. We start to hear people saying all kind of things. I hear one man talk about some church they building in Guanapo Heights. I hear next man talk about how much millions Calder Heart allegedly gone with. I hear next man talk about some bill was paying for some woman in a hotel, some high-ranking woman in a hotel in the PNM who was sleeping in a hotel, who was with some prime minister. All that after mouth open Tory jump out. But that was that. Let me come back to Rowley now. See, I like to make it clear. I'm talking about Rowley now. Just now I was talking about people who know that there was a certain woman who sleeping in a hotel in town paying the rent by the PNM bill. A matter of fact, they say one prime minister's son hit she one bellas somewhere down in the beach camp. Well, they do all the research, you know. There's facts, you know, not fiction, you know. Do all the research. Some prime minister. But all this, ladies and gentlemen, all this happens. But let me get back to Rowley. All the corruption that Rowley knew was taking place under the PNM, Rowley was tight-lipped. Years after the fact, Rowley decided to tell you. Rowley, who tell you the people that he's the best salesman, he gets some 400,000 off with some land. Inez Gate. Rowley, who tell you about Form A and Form B and the information from this form and this form and not to go there, all that. The same Rowley who tell you he stopped by Ken Gordon under email gate and who take record and who take record. And then he bust the mark in the parliament. He go in parliament and tell people about Kamla and Gary Griffith and others going to kill journalists. The same Rowley who did not show us a shred of integrity with all the aforementioned. You the people, take Rowley, beat him, put him in a suit, give him a bulletproof car, and make him your prime minister. Now where are going? Let me tell you where I'm going. If you have the misbehavior, the breach and the breaking of the law in all these high office, remember I talk about Camille Robertson Regis and Foster Cummins and them, you know, me talk about them little small fry, you know, small fry in government, but big papi with finance. Small fry in government, but big papi. I hear poor Tobago man, what's his name again? Fali. Talking about how much 400 and 500 million and how much 100 million Foster Cummins company and them get in contract in Tobago and the building and them falling down. You didn't hear that? But all you're doing nothing.
Because if this team ever behaves like the PNM that run this island for 21 years, I will disband the team myself. Myself. But history is important so you can point out people's nefarious intent when it comes to some things. Because in this house, we have conversations today about contractors from South.
Member, you have 5 minutes of speaking time.
Sure. In this house, we have conversations today about contractors from South Trinidad. But they're going to tell you that people like Foster Cummins was getting contracts from this THA prior to us.
All you hear that? All you hear that? I sure all you hear that. And let me tell you something, I know some of them contractor from South was working in Tobago too, you know. I know some of them don't feel I know them. I know some of them work on the Red House and the roof still leaking, don't feel I know them at all. You hear what I'm telling you? I know them. But that conversation for next time. That conversation for next time. This is facts, not fiction. All them contractors know them. Who straight, who bend, who corrupted, who lie down, who twist up. And let me just add this. This is not on the script, but I go add the team. All the contractors that Rowley tell you was corrupt under the UNC is all the contractors that Rowley them using now. They ain't corrupt under the PNM. All the contractors that Rowley tell all you was corrupted under the UNC. It is the same contractors that Rowley, Alwari, Stuart Young, all of them is the same contractor Rohan Sinanan and all of them using now. So they was just corrupted. You see, what I realize is under the PNM, one day does make the difference. Today you could be corrupted and tomorrow you're not corrupted anymore. Today you could be bad and tomorrow is a good boy. Today you could be a thief and tomorrow you could be the Archbishop of Port of Spain. What your name? Gordon? Look, let me talk about you. But that is how it does work. That is how it does work. But here the point, ladies and gentlemen. All these high-ranking officials who break the law, who have no integrity, who misbehave and continue to misbehave themselves in public office, in our office. You, the country, supports them. You, the country, have them there. You, the country, voting for them. You, the country, love them. So let me bring it home now. I want all you to start to love the criminals on the street now. Love them. Because the criminals killing all you with a gun and the government killing all you with a pen. The criminals killing all you with a gun. All you dead, I said. But the government killing all you with a pen. Slowly they kill you today, kill you tomorrow, kill you next week, kill you, kill your generation, kill your grandchildren, kill. That is what the government doing. So start to love the criminal on the street because they're taking you out of misery one time while the government keeping you in misery, killing you daily, and all of you feeling the effects of the government bullet, but all you have all your mouth shut. Why the country lawless? I just tell you, look at the Prime Minister. Look at the allegations against the Chief Justice. Look at the behavior with Faris Alwari. look at the Attorney General, look at the President, look at the ministers. You notice I ain't go by the police today. I ain't going there today. Them had the day coming. So if you have the heads, you see, the structure of life is as such. When you see a madman walking on the streets, it's not his foot mad. It is not his hands. It is a disorder inside of the brain. And because of that, which is the head that is malfunctioning, then the hands and the foot, the rest of the body, will do mad things. When you have a criminal government in office, you have to understand that that's the head. And you must understand that you are the neck, you are the hands, you are the toes, you are the fingers, you are the rest of the body. So when the government is corrupted, when the government continue to involve themselves in criminal activities, what you expect for the rest of the population? Actually, pop the phone number when I get some chance. I want to take some calls. What you will expect the rest of the population to be when you go by the doctor and the doctor give you an injection. That injection affects the entire body. Some people take a tablet and it doesn't agree with them. And you know what happened? They start to see blurry. Things start to come out on the skin. They start to act strange. And then they say, hey, it is a tablet that the doctor prescribed. And they will tell you, stop, use that tablet immediately. When you prescribe a corrupt, lying, thieving, criminal government, what you expect the rest of the population to become? When you look, the thieving punching, the thieving saltfish, the thieving cheese, the thieving butter, the thieving garlic, the thieving onion, the thieving anything. The robbing doubles man, the robbing taxi driver, the robbing money van, the robbing woman, the robbing children, the robbing anybody. The killing lolly man, the killing woman, the killing children, the killing man, the killing anybody. When you have a corrupt, crazy, mad government, that is the effects that you are now reaping. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Question?
Yeah, we hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, good night, Mr. Roberts.
Good night.
Hello, am I right? Good night, Mr. Roberts. I just want to say thanks for the information you passed on to me. I seem to be a very learned person. I enjoy the conversation with you today, and I'm looking at the program right now.
Thank you, sir.
I must say it's very educational, and people must listen to your program as much as you can.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, my brother. Welcome, caller. This is what you're reaping. You are reaping the effects. You are suffering with the effects of the pill. The pill that is in your head right now, it's the pill that have the rest of the body malfunctioning. The rest of the body will malfunction because the injection is bad. You cannot, ladies and gentlemen, see the behavior of these individuals who would demonstrate no ethics, no integrity, none whatsoever, and expect to get a different results? Welcome, caller. You would not get a different result. Welcome, caller. That is the reality. This, what you are experiencing from the economy back to the streets, is because of the behavior of the government. And it will only get worse. Because you, the people, you have decided to allow this country to go down the drain. You have decided to destroy the future. Omar, come. Welcome, caller. Welcome, caller.
Is something wrong?
Go ahead, we hearing you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, we hearing you.
Hello?
Hello, we hearing you.
Good night. Mr. Roberts?
Good night, good night.
Archie, good night. Mr.
Yes,
Roberts?
good night.
You know what I can't understand in this country? Every day you're hearing things getting worse and worse, and more corruption and more nastiness, and they just keep going and going. Everybody's sitting back, and they pushing it down your throat, and they're taking it. I want to know what these people thinking of. Is it that you went to liquor store to do Obi and them to have them dotish as they are? Trump of course will come in parliament telling the opposition, you're going to be all in face, like I jumping from liquor store. All of this thing they're getting on with. But that churchy looking face had big face, getting just like behind, big and fat like behind, living it high, and people sit down here and taking it. But you know, they always tell you, no, if you continue taking it, they go give you more.
Yeah.
Right? And they vote for that, I'm going to let it continue taking it. It looks as if they like it. You all have a blessed night.
Thank you, caller. You, the people, have decided to destroy this innocent boy and others like him. You, the people of this country, you have decided to allow the government to punish and to remove a future that Omar and Omar age bracket and younger boys and girls will have in this country. You, the people of this country, ladies and gentlemen, you are destroying the future generation by your decision and by your lack thereof. Go ahead, son. That is what you are doing. By your lack thereof, you are allowing this generation to perish because there is no future. I don't know what all you can't see, you know. I don't know what all you cannot see. This is reality. When we look into the parliament, we are seeing half of them is a bunch of jokers and have no right to be there. Half of them. I cannot understand with all these allegations, and yet Rowley will stand up and tell you, I am standing with my ministers. Welcome, caller.
Mr. Roberts, good night. It's me again. What happened? I want to know what's going on with all these allegations about Nelson Gate and first stuff comments, all them things swept under the carpet, or they're using all these things as a distraction to get rid of all those stuff.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Caller, nothing is happening with those investigations. Absolutely nothing. We have an investigation from since 2016. 2016 with Camille Robinson wages with $143,800. 2016. And today, we in 2023. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You will hear absolutely nothing with Foster Cummins investigation. You will hear nothing with Rowley investigation. You will hear nothing with Al-Wari investigation. A matter of fact, we don't even know if it have an investigation or not. Because all those PNM appointed stooges will tell you is that the investigation is alive. We have every drilling investigation going on from since 2018. Since 2018. And nothing, absolutely nothing. A matter of fact, it seems as though that the only time things happen is when it's against members of the UNC. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Roberts. Good night, Archie. Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir.
You remember in TSTT, a certain fellow who said he prolonged the Patrick Manning government was given the chairmanship and he take $80 million loan and he built a high rise. Also, he got contracted to build a high rise. And one of the minister in Venezuela right now is an ambassador who give apartments to certain people on strange ways to do mischief in public life. Right now, Heritage with Komina, where is the audit report and the financial report and the earnings? When he come and he tell the people that there is a strain on the treasury and the economy, and it will be better for the people to get goods and services. Where is the money from Heritage and the profit? 1 minute you hear they're making $10 billion after tax, and then you hear nothing. So, as I did say the other night, that is the people, the supporters of the PNM is giving Kit Rowley the strength to be the dictator he is. Because just imagine the first president of this country, the female, they drag the flag. And the supporters want to know, people call us want to know what is going on with the investigations. And then there's only accusal and all the regulatory bodies. He mashed it up and he put his cohort. It's really people have to come out. Really people have to come out and take charge of our destiny and hold them accountable. Because, and he said, George, in the parliament, every time the opposition go to put take questions towards them, they shut it down and no legislation to stop it. Yeah? So we the people have to come out and support we own.
Thank you, caller. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts. Good evening, Archie. And to everybody out here.
Good night, good night.
Mr. Victor, you are so right. Where is the investigation concerning Camille Robinson Regis and the handbag money? Where is the investigation concerning Foster Cummins? Where is the investigation concerning Forrest and the witness tampering? Reginald Amon in line in the Miami court.
Remember the sports minister, Tume Santa Cruz?
Yes.
The hush money?
Where and where is the investigation also with Darrell Smith and the sexual harassment? Where is it? The DPP is a failure. And all of them doing wrong, Mr. Victor, and strutting like peacock up and down the parliament chambers. You see, they're like Rowley. They feel like they can do what they want and get away with it. But the longest rope has an end. It must have an end. Rowley now come and turn around. Well, I call him Rowlier. Turn around this thing with the human trafficking and only insisting that is the opposition. I don't know if you'll have a look at today's Guardian. Big headline. Ravi Ratiram was never in anything. I wonder how Wendell Eversley and all of them feeling now. But I don't know if you got a chance to read Peter Joseph, an ex-PNM minister's article in one of the newspapers, what he wrote concerning that same human trafficking. And he said that Rowley fell down on the job because since Rowley got there, the UNC put things into place. And since Rowley got there, Rowley did nothing about it. But want to continue pointing fingers at everybody else when the man is a failure. All of us, all we can do is just sit and watch. Because we know if we do anything, Mr. Victor, we're going to get tear gas. And that is so wrong. We're supposed to be living in a country that if something upsets us, we're supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to do something about it. And the next thing is these cane farmers. All your Rowley in office, 8 years now. You all are not taking it up with Rowley and Kazim Hossain, but only down on Mrs. Prasad Bissessa. Mrs. Prasad Bissessa cannot do anything. She gave out 8,000 lots. But you all decided to support Nirvan Maharaj and go with the PNM because Rowley promised you all he was going to give all of the land. He also promised every EU money, and he never did it. And today all you want to be down on Mrs. Prasad Bissessa, it don't work so. And expect her to wave a magic wand. You see, they want to put the devil in charge and then want Mrs. Prasad Bissessa to be an exorcist.
Thank you, Ms. Santa Cruz. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, Sadaroti. Before you start, I kind of narrowing down with the calls because we had too many calls coming in. So I just kind of narrowing down, right?
Or I'm breaking up?
I said narrowing down with the call now. Make your points on them quickly.
Right. Yeah, I want to talk about an article in The Guardian today. They had it on the middle page, and it's supposed to be on the front page, where this the Honorable Dr. Pierre did research on human trafficking in the CARICOM, and he handed a file to the government, the Ministry of National Security, and apparently it gone missing. Stuart Long said he have never seen it. That report that Dr. Pierre did is damning against the PNM. What he said, the only official from Trinidad called him up was the director of the CTU. The CTU is the counter-trafficking unit set up by the UNC government. Apparently they have disbanded. In the report, it is said that they gave some of the trafficking lady cell phone to go into these areas where trafficking was done. So they have the name of the traffickers. They have where they live in, who is the mama, who is the tantu. They had everything. This was a live investigation. And it appears that the vaccine vagrant might have seen the report and he might have gotten information that some of the names are familiar and the mudball report. That is where we have come as a country. I go on. And have a nice night.
Thank you. I don't know if people still believes in Stuart Young and Rowley, them, whatever they others say. I don't know if all believe in them. But Ms. Santa Cruz, I just want to mention something. I think that tear gas, Ms. Santa Cruz, is 99% better than this government in power. And we have to stand up somewhere along the line. We have to stand up somewhere along the line. I am not going to be distracted by tear gas, by Rowley, whatever. None of them won't distract me because, you see, this country, we need to take a stand, and we have to take the stand now. People just playing and playing and playing, and when the real effects appear, then they will want to blame Tom, Dick and Harry like that custom doing. Welcome, caller. Welcome, caller.
Yes, man. It's Silver Fox here, Tobago.
Yes, Fox. Go ahead. Long time I hear you, Fox, boy.
Yes, man. Now, I want to say something.
Say it.
And Victor is fighting for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But the people of Trinidad and Tobago don't care about themselves. We don't care nothing about ourselves. Because we give them mandate to pick a president. We give them the mandate to pick a commissioner. We give them the mandate for the EBC. And we are not standing up. We are not standing up and stop all of that. We have to stop it. If we don't stop it, it won't stop. Rowley, I want to know if Rowley has family. That don't tell him that he's treating the people of Trinidad and Tobago wrong. Rowley, I want to know if Rowley don't have a wife to tell him the people of Trinidad and Tobago is big people and they're treating them wrong. Rowley had children, or you can't tell Rowley treating the people of Trinidad and Tobago wrong. Rowley don't have friends to say treating the people of Tobago and Trinidad wrong. Well, we have to treat Rowley wrong and get him out of power. We have to stand up. We have to stand up sometime or the other. Otherwise, we will be nothing. We will be nothing in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Fox, I hear the passion in you this evening, boy. I hear the passion in you this evening, Fox. But the bottom line to it is that you are right. We have to do what is... You see, people in this country realize what's happening yet, you know. There's a few people who you cannot escape. They bury in the PNM. Let me use a good word. They have the head inside the PNM defecation. They have it there. So you can't get away from them. But the right thinking citizens, welcome caller.
Hello?
Welcome caller.
Yeah, I'm on here.
Yes, go ahead.
Victor.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
This is my son from Houston. And I'm calling to let you all know. I was in Trinidad in July of 2018. And I noticed something a morning about 5:30. A van with about 6 women, security guard, a security van, drop off these women by a club on the High Street, Siparia. 6 women came out of the van, and about 10 minutes after, 6 came in the van. Not the same set.
Yeah.
So apparently they had to be changing shift. I don't know if the club's still up for it, but I know it had a club right facing the market in Siparia.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Somebody have to know about that, because they was in the security people was paying them there, took them there that morning. How the people in Trinidad doesn't know nothing? How they accepting this kind of craziness? Huh? I don't understand it, man. Especially people from down in my area, in Palo Seco area. Well, I am from Los Bajo, but I live in Houston. And I was thinking, I would not. How come? I don't see me coming back to live in Trinidad ever. Even if the Prime Minister, I run it from here.
Wow.
Anyway, Victor, I don't want to be long, because I want to just complain about the people staying too long on your program.
Thank you, brother.
Call back some other time.
Thank you, brother. When you come down, look me up, man. Don't afraid.
Well, Victor know me.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
of
then.
course.
Okay, Vic.
Yeah, brother. Take care. I know just recently Gary Griffith was on an interview, and he tell you how much people he rescue, women and children, in these places, some in cells, some, I want to really go there tonight, because I have a position on this whole thing. But at the appropriate time, I will make my position clear. Very, very clear. With this whole issue. But I ain't there tonight. But the point I'm making is, we the people, we are reaping the benefits of our own vote. That is what we reaping. The benefits of our vote. That is what we reaping. And you will continue to reap that benefit until you wisen up. And until you realize that, look, politics have no race. Politics knows no race, because the politician policy will affect the Indian, the African, the Chinese, the 1 or 2 Syrian. They always benefit. And even the Spanish, that they like to talk about trafficking. I think actually these days the Spanish trafficking themselves, The boat and them that come in these days, Archie, is Spanish bringing Spanish, They learn the waters, they realize that the Coast Guard vessels and them on holiday, and they having a time. I saw one put up a video today, come back from Tobago. And he said, man, I know like Tobago, people to relax. I like on Bacchanal, Trinidad. I love Bacchanal, Trinidad. Actually, this human trafficking thing, I ain't going there tonight. I'm not going there tonight. But to the end of the day, we are reaping the benefits of our vote. So don't vex with nobody. Vex with yourself. All that you are experiencing, you is the contributing factor to what you are experiencing. It's the first time I see people literally putting themselves in political prison. First time people actually putting themselves in political prison. People actually cutting their own resources. People actually bringing hardship upon themselves. I don't know. I really don't know. One caller called earlier on. This is way past Lekito, you know. This is not Lekito. This is raw Rowley, natural Rowley. You see, Rowley know how to do it. Rowley knows how to do it. He knows exactly how to have you timid. He knows exactly how to have you frightened. He knows how to keep you off the streets. And he knows exactly what ball to bowl on what pitch to bowl the ball on. And that is all Rowley doing with all you. He just bowling the proper, the correct ball to suit the pitch that he have all on. If I was all here, if I were you guys, I would have come off at that pitch and I would have created a pitch that Rowley cannot bowl on. You hear what I just said a little? Analyze it. If I were you people in this country, I would have come off of that pitch that Rowley put me on and bowling where I care about. And I would have select a pitch that he cannot bowl on. And until you people of this country ready to go on that pitch that he can bowl on, is until all you will remain right there and suffer. The little all you have will be taken away from all you by calling him both, and what in taken away by calling him both will be taken away by crime. Yes, that is what I'm saying. What the pen in take away, the gun will take away. Until all your people in this country decide to go on a different pitch that Rowley can bowl on, crapo, smoke all your pipe, that will be the end result. It will be the pen and it will be the gun. That is what we're facing in this country. And both of them, I just want to advise you that the pen is more dangerous than the gun. You know why? Because the man who have the pen is the same man who tell all you, when all declare war, he will declare his peace. And he make it plain. He spell it correctly so that all you will know exactly that the pen that he using is more dangerous than the gun in the bandit have. And that is where you are in this country under the Keith Rowley government. A man who Patrick Manning warned earlier, begged earlier, but all you didn't listen. All you break stick in all your own ears. Don't matter how Manning plead. Don't matter what Manning say. All you didn't listen. You know why? Because you're read and all you ready. Now all you ready to dead. All you ready to dead under Keith Rowley. And yet somebody else has so much a belly. You know what a man tell me the other day? A man tell me the other day, he was giving me a joke about a man who was going and dead. And he lie down. When he gone by the doctor, they tell him, boy, it had two doctors here. It have a PNM doctor and it have a UNC doctor. Which doctor you going by? They say the UNC doctor had the cure. You're shot dead by the PNM doctor. He said, take me by the PNM doctor. I want a dead at PNM. That is where you guys are in this country. The sad thing is that some of you have no brain to know when all they are dead. All they ain't dying at PNM, or they ain't dying at UNC, or they just dead. That is what they don't understand. You feel when all the dead Rowley come in at the funeral? You feel Rowley come in and cry? You feel Rowley really care about all you? Rowley don't care about all you? For Rowley part, all you could dead tomorrow morning. Life goes on. You know why? Because Rowley business fix. Rowley ministers business fix. Rowley financiers business fix. And Rowley family will outlive the pesos that they accumulated. You hear what I'm telling earlier? So always sit down quiet. Don't do nothing. I actually get my song ready, you know. Sit down quiet. Don't do nothing. And just say, all you're afraid. You know, there was a song that say, we afraid Carl. It was Carl. We afraid Carl. It was Carl Hudson Philip that was talking about. We afraid Carl. Well, if all they know how good for you, they better move Carl and put Rowley. Because that is what all they're going to reap. All they are now reaping the benefits of the Cosa Nostra that all you have in government, who continues to rob, to steal, and to destroy while they keep each other's secret. I gone. Good night.
This Monday, get ready for UNC's Monday Night Forum, the United National Congress. Monday Night Forum. This Monday, 6th of March, get ready for the United National Congress Monday Night Forum at the Endeavour Hindu School, Shogonas. Come out in large numbers. Let's discuss the real issues facing the nation. It's time for action, not distraction. Monday Night Forum, Endeavour Hindu School, 7 p.m. See you there. See you there. See you there.